but that's looking pretty close. Okay, I'm good with the dimensions and what I have put together there. I'm going to start marking this. This is some cherry. Lots of scraps here that I think I can get several, if not all of the pieces out of. So let's get started on that. We have all 4 legs cut out. And a divider piece. I already put the pocket screw hole in this one. And have this one clamped in the jig, so I'll get the hose bored in it. Alrighty, put the braces in here to bore the hose in to fasten it to the cabinet. So we'll let the glue dry, and we'll do a little bit of sanding. And I think you can see I'm just rounding these edges. Also use some cherry wood filler that I have just to smooth the saw cuts up a little before I do some sanding. That'll help fill in any imperfections. And here's the side that I haven't sanded. You can see we've got really sharp edges. And just using a 80 grit paper to round these edges. This cherry is pretty hard wood, kind of hard to sand, so using some really aggressive paper. And then of course once we get the shape we want, then we'll go up to 220 and finish it off with some 320 probably. But making progress. So far so good. And got it clamped down to my workbench. Keeps it good and stable. Makes it easier to sand like that. Takes quite a bit of sanding to get these cut marks out. I sawed this out on the bandsaw, and you can see the cross marks where the blade was cutting. Just takes a while, but I'm about to get this one. Well, I think we're ready for some stain and finish. That's going to be another hard part, is matching the finish that's on the TV already on the cabinet. But what I think I can do, the front edge of the cabinet has actually a piece of wood, and I could strip it off and match it with this. But hopefully this will work. I think it will. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's not going to look as an exact match of the original base, but it's going to be close enough that it'll be okay for me. Let's see what we can do with the front edge of this cabinet. We'll just try to strip the finish off, and then we'll match it with the new legs that I built. Try to stain them the same shade, and hopefully we can get a decent match. But what I'm going to use, I've used this a lot in the past, just acetone. It's a safe way of doing it. Like we discussed before, this is a photo finish here, so I have this taped up. I don't want to get any of the acetone on it. In fact, I may run another strip of tape just to be sure we don't get any back on the rest of the cabinet. But let's see if we can get some of this finish stripped off. Use a chip brush. Let's see what happens. There, that shows you what it does. It's a gradual process. It doesn't eat it all off at one time, but you keep applying it, it'll take off that outside finish. Well, about 30 minutes. We got that outer finish off of the wood. I have to really tame this down, put some darker stain on it to try to match this top a little, at least close as we can. But that's got the finish off. Ready to do a little bit of sanding, and then we'll see what we can come up with for some stain. Well, I've done a light sanding on the front of the cabinet. I attempt first to tone down this red on this cabinet, this red cast. And I'm thinking just a kind of a walnut or more brown stain on top of this. I've got a couple of stains that I'm going to try. Either use just one or a combination of the two. I may need some more of a walnut color. If I do, I have some more of it down in the shop. This is a black cherry. Well, that's a little better. We need a little bit darker. Well, we still got quite a bit of red in it, so we'll mix this dark walnut in with the red. Let's see if that tones it down. Brush this on. And let it soak in for a few minutes. And we'll see if that darkens. Looks promising when you compare it to the side of the cabinet there. But we'll see once it soaks in and we wipe it off, the excess off. But that looks better. These legs, I may end up mixing the walnut and the cherry together and try it on this. Alright, on the legs, I'm going to try just doing the cherry first and then going back with the walnut. And we'll see how that looks. The bottom of this, and see, it's really brown compared to the cabinet, so that's the walnut I put on first. So I'm going to let that soak in a little, and then I'm going to go back and put the cherry on top. This is the final color. I think that'll work. I'm going to go with that. What I ended up having to do, this is just a light walnut. This is really a light stain, light colored stain, called Early American. There's the color. I ended up mixing it with the other two colors, the dark walnut and the black cherry. And I think we're pretty close right there. So Here's something I'm trying. I don't know if it'll work or not, but just took a Q-tip and I put some grain like that. We'll see how that works when it dries. Yeah, same thing here. Just putting a little. Three coats of polyurethane. Brought these out here in the house garage where I could open the garage door and get some ventilation. That way we wouldn't be spraying polyurethane in the house. And I'm really happy with the way that that front edge turned out as far as matching the rest of the cabinet. Not too bad at all. And here's our base. But a little more, probably could have went a little more red in the stain, but I think it's going to be fine. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, how about giving us a like and subscribing to our channel? Thanks.